In this Threads embroidery software tutorial, we're going to teach you how to digitize this simple tree-looking logo. Uh, we're going to use column stitches all through the green part, and then we'll go through and hand digitize the lettering. We've already brought the design up on the screen. If you don't know how to do that, we've got other tutorials for doing that. This is just mainly a digitizing tutorial, so you can refer to some of our more basic tutorials. Press F11, view full screen. I'm going to zoom in here. Again, like I said, I'm going to start with this green. I'm going to start with this darker color just because there's more pieces. And I'll start down here at the bottom. So I'm going to right mouse click, normal, normal, and start with the lockdown star. I'm going to press I to invert the colors. So now I can see the inverted colors. I'm going to put a lockdown here. And I'm going to come down here and start down here. Push 2 on the keyboard to bring up the column stitch. And then I'm just going to go piece by piece like this. I could also use arcs if I wanted to, arc columns. Let me show you the difference. I push 2 on the keyboard, and we go arcs. And then I'm going to right mouse click, arc column, 3-point column, end. Alright, and then I'm going to press 1 for normal, right mouse click, other, trim. I'm going to put my block down here, put an underlay, right mouse click, do column, 3-point column, start. Alright, put a lockdown, T for trim, click right here, another lockdown. Right mouse click, column, 3-point column, end. Lockdown, T, another lockdown. I'm going to put some underlay. Oops. I'm going to press E here for edit. Just kind of edit some of these. I like going back and forth between digitizing and editing. All right, now I'm going to right mouse click. Excuse me. I'm going to right mouse click, other trim, select the last point. I'm going to put some points down. Trim. column, 3-point column start. T for trim. Come over here, put a lockdown, just a star. Column, 3-point column. All right. Press E to edit. All right, Control F. I'm gonna press F11. Okay, right now it says the height is 13. Let's change that to about 25. Generate the stitches. Let's turn off our background over here. And that's that half of the design so far. Okay, so I'm gonna turn my background back on. Turn my stitches off with S. Use the right arrow on the keyboard. Press F11. Now we're going to continue with the other pieces here. So I'm going to right mouse click, go to other, color change, select this lighter color here, put a lockdown, put some underlay, column, 3-point column, start, press 2 on the keyboard so it does an arc column. All right, T for trim, come over here, put a small lockdown, column, 3-point column, start. Put a lockdown. I'm just going to walk right over there because it's so close. I don't want to waste time on the trim. It's not even going to be visible. All right, we'll do lockdown, trim, lockdown again, put some points. All right, lockdown right there. T for trim. Come over here, put another lockdown. Hold down shift. And my right mouse click, go to column, 3-point column, start. Okay, press escape and press E for edit. Just gonna move some of these points around. All right, press escape, press Alt F, P to show the points, B to turn the background off, S to show the stitches. This is what we got so far. This is what it looks like when you zoom up, but it's probably going to be about this big on embroidery. So I'm going to click S, turn off the stitches, zoom back in, press B, show the background, come over here to the C, right mouse click, I'm going to go to other, I'm going to do a color change, I'm going to use this gray, I'm going to put a lock down here. I'm going to come around this way, just clicking left mouse buttons. Now I'm going to right mouse click, arc column, and I'm going to go all the way around this with arc columns. You just want to make sure as you go around uh, that you keep all your lines, you know, running, uh, rotating around the C. You want them all to look smooth and uniform. All right, so I'm going to press E for edit. Just going to clean up a few of these spots. All right, press escape. I'm going to come over here, right mouse click. I'm going to go to other, needle up, select the last point. When you do a needle up, it doesn't trim, so it saves a lot of time. Uh, you'll just have to, on your machine, you'll just have to go back and trim the thread yourself. But sometimes that saves money, especially if your labor is expensive. So I'm just going from one side to the other. All right, I'm going to push escape, E for edit. All right, press escape. Okay, so I'm going to right mouse click over here. I'm going to go to other, needle up. I'm going to right mouse click on our last point, select it. You always want to select the last point because otherwise you're going to be digitizing in the middle of your design somewhere. So I'm going to press 2 on the keyboard. That gives me my column command. And I'm going to try to replicate what's going on up here, which might be a little complicated. I haven't done this design yet, so we'll see. There might be another way we might want to do this. It's kind of hard to tell. This letter looks kind of complicated. And again, I haven't done this design yet. But this might work out. These are just column stitches, and I'm just going back from one side to the other. Okay, so let me go in here and just clean up this a bit. There's not much I can do. It's just it's a complicated letter. It's not easy for embroidery, but we can probably do it a little different next time. There's a lot of different ways to do this, and this is probably not the best. But at least you get an idea on one of the ways to do it. Alright, so I'm going to go Alt F, P to hide the points, B to hide the background, S to show the stitches. Now that doesn't look too bad at all. That M will probably look pretty good on embroidery. There might be a little bit we can do. I'm just concerned about these points right here in the middle where you see it's bunching up. That's the only thing that concerns me. So I'm going to turn my background back on with B, turn the stitches off with S. I'm going to come into the letter P. I'm going to right mouse click, go to normal. Right mouse click here to select our last point. And I'm going to come in here to the P. And I'm going to start the P right here because this is the closest point to the letter A. And that way we can just hop right over there. And then I'm going to start it back over here. So it's kind of like a chess game. You always got to think of your next move. This is the first time I've done this design for you guys. So I'm new to it as well. Alright. Excuse me. So I'm going to right mouse click, go to other, needle up. Let's select the last point. Then I'm going to come over here, I'm going to come around. I'm going to do this middle piece first. Oops. Press 2 on the keyboard. And then 1 over here. And I'm going to try to do this letter similar to how I did the other one. It's not very pretty, so it's going to take us some extra work here. Alright. So that's not too bad. Turn S for turn the stitches off, B for my background. Come back in here. And here we go with the N. Do other, needle up, select my last point. We're going to do the N just like we did the M and the A. I don't know if I entirely love it, but actually, let's do our N a little bit differently. All right, now normal, normal. And then I want to end up there at the top. Here, let's keep going a little bit more. I'm just going to walk across because it's so close. There we go. So Alt F, B for background. Let's bring it up a bit. I'm going to push F11. Right now it says we're at 40. Let's do it a little bit bigger. Let's do it at 55. And here's our image right here. It looks like between the M and the P it's jumping, and I didn't want it to jump, or it's walking. So what I'm going to do is hit S, turn my stitches off. I'm going to zoom in here a bit. Right mouse click, point edit. I'm going to go right here, and so I'm going to go right here, and my T for trim. Oops, excuse me. Go back to the digitizing mode. I'm going to go to trim. Trim right there. All right. And that's how I inserted a trim quickly. There's another way to insert a trim. We have insert tutorials you can follow up on. So let's see it again. Show the stitches, and there we go. That's cap size, and that's about how it would look on the cap, about like that. You notice down here we also have tools for changing the thickness of our thread, just so you can see online. It's probably going to look something like that when you embroider it.